Many. I think the first one that I think is really critical is about the young people themselves. We were really committed from the beginning that this was going to be not just youth informed, but youth involved, because we wanted to make uh, it not just something that stood on a shelf. I think it wouldn't do justice to our young people, would not be fair to them. So I would say from the get-go, this has to involve young people. And in fact, right at the beginning of the project, we had some ideas in terms of how we thought youth engagement was going to look. And then um, there was an aha moment with one of my directors who said, well, why don't we actually ask the youth in terms of how they want to be engaged? And it's like, yeah, so I think we sometimes as agencies, we think we know all the right things to do, and we have the experience in doing this work. But I think we can learn so much when we just actually put it back to the young people to tell us things like, how would you want to be engaged? And so we structured the collective, the collaborative, around how the youth wanted to engage. And there were some tweaks when the pandemic hit, but I would say one important lesson is the engagement of the youth and really being true to what engagement is. Secondly, I cannot speak strongly enough about the importance of the backbone support. As an organization, 360 Kids is the backbone for this collaborative. And we had a couple of changeovers with the coordinator of the project. And each time that happened, we saw very clearly how important it was, and it is, to actually have a strong backbone, somebody who can actually keep the information flowing, manage the administration. It is no easy feat to manage a group of 30 plus, support the young people, support the agencies, keep the working groups, the steering committee, all of these players engaged. It is not something you do off the side of your desk. So I think that was another important lesson. You've got to, thirdly, give it time. We were very ambitious in terms of the things that we wanted to accomplish with this. And with the support of Away Home Canada, we were able to get some coaching and support around what does collective impact look like, and really educate and support the group, the steering committee, to say that building trust, building this thing that was new for all of us does take time, and that's okay. So I think that's an important lesson as well. Fourthly, I would add leveraging relationships. I think the history of the players within York Region working together was an important foundation on which we were able to build. And so we started there when we were engaging people. And so start with the players and allow that to be sort of a foundation as you build. Importantly as well, I mentioned about Away Home Canada and getting that kind of support as well. Again, this was new for us to do this work. We wanted to do it, but we needed the expertise from people who've done this work. And so I reached out to them to say, this is what we want to do, help us. And it was amazing to get the support from Away Home Canada to help us, and some additional funding and coaching through Laidlaw Foundation. So that additional support is critical to helping build on knowledge that's already out there. So why reinvent the wheel? And lastly, we saw this during the pandemic. When you think about the geography of York Region, leveraging technology was so critical for us as we mobilized. We were seeing it with the agencies. It takes a long time to move from one part of the region to the next. And if you really want to bring all the players together, I mean, they were doing it pre-pandemic and traveling from one part of the region to the next. And it's quite an expansive region, but people were doing it. And same with the young people. It was tough to navigate that. So leveraging technology during the pandemic became really the only way to go. And now that we've gone there, we realize it was a really effective tool that we weren't leveraging. And so for areas where there is where geography is a big issue and transportation is problematic, taking advantage of the technology is helpful. But don't overlook the importance of those personal connections as well, because this project does take time. And so you've got to keep the engagement strong, and that you just can't do over technology. It's also important for you to make those personal connections. So the engagement is not just at the beginning; the engagement is actually throughout the project.